And yes, Zay Jones is here in the studio joining us right now. So now, Paul, you can set him up however you want to set him up.
Well, one's your brother, so you're not talking trash there. But, these other Joneses, are they keeping up with Zay Jones? That's what I want to know.
You're funny. That's hilarious. No.
See what I've had to deal with for 4 hours?
Every Jones on the roster is great.
All right. Okay. All right. I got the buzzer. I get the hint.
You got your own buzzer 3 seconds into the interview.
They buzzed me down. Go ahead, Luke. It's your turn.
You deserve that.
Yeah.
Zay, thank you so much for the time. And how's it going out there this last couple days?
It's good.
Yeah?
It's getting warm out there. It's hot, but it's good. It's always a joy to be back on the field and working and doing what you love.
It's one thing if you're a big guy and you're in the trenches, right? No pads, but
sure.
You tell us. A receiver against a DB, you can get better this time of year, can't you?
Yeah, I think a lot of the skilled people are moving at high speeds, which we normally would do, except for, our quote-unquote low days. And so it's that timing that you're working with quarterbacks, and coach does a great job of taking care of us where we need to compete and not to compete, where it's just learning maybe. So, there's a lot of aspects that we can grow and learn and get better, especially in the skill position.
We're talking to Zay Jones. Zay, we talked to Paris Johnson Jr. last week about how, most of the obvious moves in the offseason were on defense.
Sure.
The offense is basically, it's mostly the same group, and he said he liked that because there's continuity, and also you guys have you have that accountability because you're familiar with each other. Well, what do you see from the offense now going from last year into this year?
Yeah, I think that's the thing about the front office and what they do. They evaluate the team and try to build the team as best as they can and trusting each other. So there's a lot of trust now. And I think within the offense, guys being familiar with each other and having that rapport and working like we did in the offseason, obviously in the season. So now moving in here, it's time for us to, take the next step and, be that offense we know we can be. But there's baby steps right to it, right? That's why we're in the OTAs period of finding that continuity and learning each other a little bit more, getting on the same page, speaking the same language, and making sure everything's buttoned up going into the next phase.
Receiver Zay Jones is our guest. Last year, the Cardinals were among the top offenses in explosive runs, chunk run plays, but in the bottom third of the NFL in explosive pass plays. How much room for improvement is there, and how much of that is you guys in the receiver room saying, you know what, that's a box we got to check this year?
I think everything goes hand in hand, right? So when you're running the ball efficiently, it opens up the pass game. And so as we continue along that same path of working with each other, trusting each other, believing each other, I think things will flow. And everyone has to look at themselves and say, how can I improve in this period? That's the main thing about this time of year is how can I get my game better to help this football team win? So for me, I know personally I want to help this team win. I want to be a leader for this team. What can I do to improve my game, whether it's downfield, intermediate, short routes, whether it's blocking, whatever the case may be, and do my job efficiently. So I think if everyone takes that same approach and looks at themselves and gets themselves in check first and then bring others along, we'll be just fine as an offense.
We're talking to Zay Jones. Zay, I'm sure as a player, you go into every season, you're expecting, hey, we're going to make the playoffs, we're going to make a run at the Super Bowl. You're playing. That's got to be your mindset. But it feels like, at least from the outside looking in, the expectations for this team are higher now than they were 2 years ago. You weren't here, but it almost felt like they were kind of starting from scratch. And last year it was kind of like, okay, let's see where we can go without Kyler for a little bit. But now it's like, now you're going into this. It feels like outwardly the expectations for this team are playoffs or bust.
Well, I think each year presents its own challenges, and no year is the same. And the turnover of the league doesn't matter who won the previous year. You got to prove it each and every year. That's the beautiful thing about this game as well. So I think there's great things that you can carry from the past or lessons that you've learned from prior seasons with you, but it's truly its own year, and you have to respect that process, because if you don't, you can get caught up in all the things that I wouldn't say don't matter, but shouldn't be the priority or not the forefront. So I think for us, it's focusing on the here and now, and what do we have? What can we learn from last year? What can we improve on? What tweaks and changes that we need to make so we can be efficient? So we're not sitting back looking at that boom or bust mentality, I guess you could say.
We talk about position battles, corner, middle linebacker, guard in this team. What about wide receiver 2? Is there room for someone to establish themselves, wide receiver 2, and really take that job?
I think obviously we have Marvin, who's a phenomenal receiver, but I think each player that we have in that room is almost in a sense competing for one, as if they want to be that one in respect to who we have. But I mean, I think that's the thing about the NFL is rooms are so competitive and they're filled with guys who can go at any moment. And I think the most important thing is not just wide receiver 2, but depth. Because you can go in a season for so long, and week 10, week 11, you might need a guy to step up who maybe didn't get all those reps, and they're capable, and coaches are trusting that person, Kyler's trusting that person. So I've been a part of teams before where there was really no 1 or 2 guys. It was a rotation, and it's been effective. I've been on teams where you have the one guy and everyone kind of just fills in and does their job, and it's been effective. So I won't dive too deep into a wide receiver 2 necessarily, but making sure that guys know that at any point in time their number can get called and you're one play away from being the guy.
Talking to Zay Jones, we only have a couple seconds left. I just wanted to get your thoughts real quick on what you see from Marv when he hits his potential. What is it that makes him that good?
I told a couple of people, I think I've even said it today, I think Marv's going to play in this league for a long time just by the way that he approaches it, and just by his age alone, and how far mentally he is ahead is something that's very impressive. I'm not ashamed to say it, but he was way beyond what I was at his age, and just his approach to how he takes care of his body, his approach to the weight room, and wanting to be the strongest, wanting to put on more weight, wanting to watch more film, and eager to compete in some of these drills where it's just, hey, we're learning some concepts, but he wants to compete. He wants more one-on-one. So in a lot of ways, it motivates me. I told him, I was like, you keep me young, you keep me in it. Just the mindset that you carry, and it's really exciting to see. And I think he's going to be wearing red for a very long time.
Zay, it's always great talking to you, man. Thank you so much for this. Good luck this year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
All right, that's Zay Jones.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.